Hello and namaste everyone, you're watching Smarty Tech Fizz and I am with a new video related to AWS S3 bucket. So today we will talk about the problem that if you have a large file in your S3 bucket and you want to download that file in a very efficient way. What I mean the efficient way, let's say you have a 18 GB of file, a large file you have, and if you are going to download in a single thread or in a single object, that will take much time to execute to make the file available to you. But what if you will change this logic? If I download the same file by using multiple thread, multiple parts, and just combine them into a single one, and that will actually help you a lot, that it will be available to you in a very less time. So for this we will see that what are the ways we have, what are the methods we have to download these large file from the S3 bucket, and then we will discuss that what actually the way I like the most and why, so that you will be aware that what I will be preferring for downloading the large file. So let's see how we can do that, and we will discuss the different methods in it, and we will discuss the different ways in which I can prefer it. So let's get started. So firstly, let's see what we want to download. We have a large file, we want to download that file from the S3 bucket, and that downloading should be in a very efficient way. That is our problem statement. Then the solution of this, let's say discuss the solution. So for as per my concern, I have two ways to download these large file. What are the ways we have? We have firstly the high level API and the low level API. So firstly let's discuss about the high level API. So what means the high level API? So let me share one documentation given by the AWS itself, that is the parallelizing the large download for the optimal speed. So this you can read it from here. I will share the link as well in the description box or on a comment box. You can see that. So in this link you will see that they have used, firstly they are using the high level API. What the high level API is? High level API is the use of the transfer manager client, and if you want to know what is the transfer manager client, just come to my channel, go to the AWS S3 bucket full playlist, and here you will find these certain videos regarding the transfer manager client, and how to create a client for the transfer manager, how to download, how to upload. There are multiple functions in it, so you can go through them. So by using the transfer manager, actually it is a high level implementation where you don't have to do much thing in it. Just use this client, use their function, and it will automatically upload or download the files for you. So in the case of the transfer manager, it automatically supports a feature of parallelizing the large download from the Amazon S3, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to upgrade the AWS SDK to the version of this. Fine. And you can see they have even shared their improvements. You can see from here, and this is the code what we have to do. So you can find the same thing in this video, where I have shown that how to upload single file through the transfer manager client. So we have uploaded the single file and we have uploaded the multiple files, and in this video you will even find the downloading the same file. So here the uploading and downloading all are mentioned in this video. So this is how you can download or upload. So it will automatically take the number of threads, number of bytes that it needed to be used for efficiently downloading the large files. But you have to take care, there are certain things that it will not work. How it will not work? Parallel download are not supported in some cases. The cases are the file, if the file is not upload it as a multi-part file. But the multi-part file, you may be knowing that if you are using your application, you are all are using the multi-part files, and that should be uploaded first. So if your uploaded file is not a multi-part file, it will not work. So you can see that it is written here that the file is downloaded in serial if the client is an instance of Amazon S3 encryption client. Is the way of different, there are different ways of connecting to the S3 client, so it is one of the way that is connecting for Amazon S3 client. And if the download request is a ranged request, or if the object was originally uploaded to Amazon S3 as a single part. Single part means that is uploaded as single part but not as a multi-part file. So if it is not a multi-part file, the transfer manager is not going to be work on it. That is the high level API. I am not going to implement in this video because we have already implemented in this video. That video that has been shared in this playlist, so you can find the upload and download both the things in this single video, and using this video you will be able to use the transfer manager to client to download the large file. So that is a normal download, and it will work as a parallelizing the large download file. So that is available in this video. So I am not going to implement the same in this current tutorial, so you can go through this video. Now this is the first way for downloading the large file. The second way is using the low level implementation. So what is the low level implementation? That is, if you are not using the transfer manager client, you have to normally use the S3 clients, and that S3 client should be used with the range request. What I mean for the range request? Range request means in this request you have to mention up to which range, up to which bytes it have to download the file. So we will provide the range, and it will automatically download the file up to that range, that byte forms. Okay, and then you have to use that byte forms, that portion of the object formed in your file, or even you can print that. So I am going to implement the low level implementation because we have not done it earlier, but high level implementation, as I mentioned earlier, it is already implemented in this video, and you can go through that. So let's see how to use the low level implementation for downloading the range request and the part of the file. Before this, just want to share you one more thing. In this file, it is the documentation given by the AWS to get an object using the AWS SDK for Java. So here there are three ways for downloading it. Either you can download the full object, so it will be doing it one by one, and either you can use the range object request to download it using a range of bytes, and then that is something else, that is response header overrides, and you can do it. So this is the documentation given for the, I just wanted to show you this part because we are going to use this. Fine. And here also, if you don't know, as I mentioned, that high level implementation will not work if the object is not uploaded as a multi-part object. So before going to this thing, you must be knowing that what if you want to upload an object as a multi-part object. So in that case, you can go through this link, or even I will upload another video too, so that you will be able to know that how to upload a multi-part file or object using the AWS S3. So in this thing too, we have two things, that is the high level API and the low level API. High level API is the transfer manager, the same thing that we have done in this series, and for the low level implementation we have to directly use the S3 client. So let's get back to our original content, that is downloading the large file. So you can see this code that I have already done because I just wanted to save the time. so that I will show you that what are going to use and what I can explain you clearly. What I'm going to do here is just skip this because we are creating the S3 clients, and if you are amazed at how I am creating a client, there are different number of ways to create a Amazon S3 client, and I am using the session credential to connect to the S3 client. Now the main thing is here. So just remember, this is the low level implementation API and high level is already done. So for the low level implementation, what I need to do is, firstly we need a metadata. Why I need a metadata? Because we are going to provide a range in it, and how we will be knowing that okay, up to that range it has to be run. So that complete range we have to know, so that we can go through the whole file. So that content should be can be get from the metadata, and using that metadata I will get the get content length. So that metadata we have to provide the function as get object metadata, and here you have to provide your bucket name, and here you have to provide your key. Here is the, you have your file in the bucket. So this is the key, this is the bucket. So after getting the metadata, you have to use it with metadata dot content length. So it will provide the full length, byte length of your file. So this is a common this is the logic which I have built so that I can go through the whole file. So for this, firstly you can go through this logic. I know that you all are programmer, and you even know that you will be understanding this logic very easily. So just go in it and see what I am doing. What I am doing here is, I want a range object request. Object request means I want to set the range. So for this I have used the get object request, and this get object request I have again used the bucket name and the file name. As I already know the metadata and I already know the full content length, so that's why I have just take this variable, and what I am doing here is set range. You have to set the range in this object request, and set range equals to start byte and end byte. The start byte here is 0 and the end byte here will be the 1000. You can even take any number of bytes. I have taken the 1000 bytes because I have a small file, but if you have a large file you can even increase it. So just for the base thing I have used the 0 to 1000 range. So firstly it will download the 0 to 1000 bytes. 1000 means 999. So it will firstly download the 1000 bytes. So obviously we have a large file, so it will be having the bytes are the more than 999. So that's why we have to make it into the loop. So up to when the total byte is greater than the n byte, it should be run. So firstly it is running from 0 to 99, then it will run from 1000 to next 199. So it will going on until the end byte is smaller than or equals to the total bytes. So it will going in a range like this, and after taking the range I have just implemented that end byte. Now next, in the next loop, it should be end byte should be start byte should be equals to the end byte which we have already have in our logic, and then end byte should be equal to the end byte plus base byte minus 1. So this is a normal logic I have implemented for setting the range. And then after setting the range, what I have to just use the S3 client object and then get the object from the S3 client and provide the range object request which we have created here. Okay, so range object here is provided, and it will return the object portion of it. What is the object portion? That is the S3 object part, and that object I have used for getting the object content. So it will return back the content up to when it has been downloaded. That is the up to the this range and byte up to the this range it will download the file, and that is going to be a input stream. So I want to show you in a console, that's why I have just taken this this method, and that input stream is going to be read and then print in a line, print as a line. So that will be printed here, and the loop will be going on until the whole file is not going to be read. Fine. So let's save it and run here. So you can see the console is blank, and you will be able to now see after running the application that it is printing one by one. So run as Java application. So you can see it is printing here, and we have a total number of bytes as this one, 16,056 bytes we have. So it is going to be take the range as 0 to 1000, 1000 to next thousands, and until it is going to be less than or equals to 16,956. So this was the file which we had uploaded earlier, and just downloading it using the range. So this is all about implementing the low level API. So we have talked about both the methods, that is the high level API and the low level API. So this is what is explained in this documentation. Please go through this and you will be understand that what and why we are doing it. So we talked about the high level API, we have talked about the low level API and why we need this, and what is the solution and for the problem we had. Now let me tell you my preference, what I will be liking it to implement. So I always wanted to be implement, my preference is the high level API, because we don't have to do anything, just everything is going to be done by the transfer manager itself. You just have to provide the bucket, key and the file. So you can go through the whole code in this video that I have shown it earlier, but actually the main thing is I will prefer the transfer manager client use, because it is a high level API and that has been implemented for us only. Okay, so we should use the good and provided methods already that has been shared by the AWS, and you can even increase the number of threads that has to be. You can see that you can set a custom pool size as well as per your convenience. That transfer manager creates a pool of 10 threads, but you can set a custom pool size. You can do it by yourself, you can use number of things. So that is depend on you, that what is the pool size you have to do. And for the low level implementation, that has to be done by us, that we have implemented a logic to done it to be read it from the range as a range. And I could not find anything that is related to the threads. It is not going to be parallelizing the request. Let me show here. So you can see that the methods are given here, that set range with the start and end. You can even use the start one also. You can even use the set part number, so that if there is a multi-part object, it can be downloaded as a part number that indicates the part to be downloaded in a multi-part object. So there are different ways, there are different functions has been provided for the low level implementation, and that make a user confused, because I can't even know before this that what is the part and what is the range, how we can differentiate. There are different things in the low level implementation. So I will always prefer the high level implementation for downloading the large file, and overall that depends on you, what it actually benefited to you and how you can do that, how you want to implement it. That is totally depends on you. So just go through this documentation. You can even go through what are the methods available, and I have shown you these two documentation as well. So that all depends on you. Just go through the documentation and see what actually the preference you have. So I hope that will help you to download the large files. And till then, just stay tuned with us for the next video, and take care. Bye bye. Thank you.